Standard 7, Subject English, Chapter number 2.6, Chasing the Sea Monster. This story is written by French writer Jules Verne, who is known as the father of science fiction. He wrote about rockets, space travel, and submarine, when such things were unknown. In this passage, which is from his novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, he described how people on the ship tank of the submarine has an animal and try to chase and hunt it. Now we shall begin with the lesson, Chasing the Sea Monster. A frigate wanted to go back, but the unearthly animal came at us with a speed double our own. We gasped, more stunned than afraid. We stood mute and motionless. The narrator ship wanted to go back home, but they found some earthly animal over there, and they felt that unearthly animal is coming towards them with a greater speed, means double the speed. We gasped means they were shocked to see that particular unearthly animal towards them. They all were very afraid and they stood mute and motionless. The animal caught up with us, played with us, and made a full circle around the frigate and wrapped us in a sheet of electricity that were like luminous dust. At any instant it would have dashed against our ship. So when the people on the ship saw this unearthly animal coming towards them, they all were very scared, afraid, and they all were mute and they were motionless. They were not knowing what to do and where to go exactly. They felt that particular animal has caught us and the animal is playing with us. And that animal was taking full round around the frigate, means the ship. They felt that their ship was trapped. That animal was full of light. It was looking very bright, and as if they thought, now this particular animal will dash our ship. Since that particular unearthly animal was taking full circle around the particular ship, the ship started floating, because with the full speed that animal was taking around, since the wave was moving up and down, so that people on the ship thought that animal will dash against the ship. Meanwhile, I was surprised to see that our warship was fleeing, not fighting. I commented on this to the commander, Farragut. His face, ordinarily so emotionless, showed great astonishment. What happened means, meanwhile everyone was surprised. They thought, which is that particular animal that has come in the sea? They all were very scared and they were not fighting, they were just getting scared. They all were emotionless. Then narrator commented on this to the commander Farragut. Now this commander is the one who is the main in charge of the ship, so his name is Commander Farragut. Narrator went near Commander Farragut to ask what action should be taken about all this is happening. His face, ordinarily became so emotionless, showed great astonishment. Astonishment means surprise. So even commander was very much shocked and he was also speechless, and he did not know what exactly to do. So even commander thought that particular animal is going to dash us. Let us see in the next paragraph what actions were taken. Professor Aronnax, he answered me, I don't know what kind of fearsome creature I'm up against. I don't want my frigate running foolish risk in all this darkness. Besides, how should we attack this unknown creature? How should we defend ourselves against it? Let's wait for daylight and then we'll play a different role. Now we met two people. First, Commander Farragut, and second, narrator, means Professor Aronnax. Now the narrator said to the commander, Professor Aronnax, that I don't know exactly what kind of creature is. I don't want my people to take any kind of risk in the darkness. And how should we attack this unknown creature? And how should we defend ourselves against that particular creature? Is a big question. So therefore, that particular commander is given order, and therefore the commander said, let's wait for the daylight and then we'll play a different role. The whole crew means people working on the ship, stayed on their feet all night long. No one even thought of sleeping, unable to compete with the monster's speed. A frigate, the Abraham Lincoln, slowed down. For its part, the animal mimicked the frigate, simply rode with the waves but did not leave the field of battle. So what happened? The whole crew on the ship, they did not even thought of sleeping that night. They were continuously thinking, and they were scared because they were unaware about the next particular step taken by the unearthly animal. They were unable to think and unable to compete with the monster's speed. A frigate, the Abraham Lincoln, slowed down. The frigate name was Abraham Lincoln. For its part, the animal mimicked the frigate, simply rode with the wave, but did not leave the field of battle. Whenever the frigate used to slow down, at the same time the animal also used to slow down. That animal mimicked means to do the same thing, means copying. However, near midnight it disappeared, or to use a more appropriate expression, it went out like a huge glowworm. It had fled from us. We didn't know and were filled the fear and hope at the same time. Midnight starts at 12 a.m. Near midnight that animal disappeared because that animal was not making any sign and was not moving from one place to another. The people on the ship thought that particular animal must have got scared from us and he ran away. But the people on the ship were still in that fear we did not know and were filled with fear and hope at the same time. Glowworm means insect that shine very much bright. They thought that particular unearthly animal was looking very bright, so that suddenly everything got disappear. So they thought that light were not been seen. So they thought animal must have got disappeared. But at 12:53 a deafening hiss could be heard, resembling the sound made by the water spout expelled with tremendous intensity. So at 12:53 again they heard the sound of the water. By then Commander Farragut, Ned Land and I were on the afterdeck, peering eagerly into the darkness. Professor Aronnax is narrating all the story. Afterdeck means an open space on the ship where people can walk. So the commander, Farragut, Ned Land and Professor Aronnax were there on that place, means that deck. They were eagerly seeing what was happening over there, and they were thinking about the solution to come out. Tell me, Ned Land, isn't that noise cetaceans make when they spurt water from their bore holes? This commander, Professor and Ned Land thought that it can be a whale, and since it was splashing water, so they thought for some time that it can be a whale. Then they finally thought it must be a whale. The very noise, sir, but this one very louder. So there can be no mistake. There's definitely a whale lurking in our water. So they finally thought that it must be whale. So they thought for some time. So this one was so way louder. They thought that a whale cannot make such a huge noise. But there's no mistake. Definitely there is a whale lurking, means that is hiding in the water. Still they were confused whether it is a whale or other animal. So from the start till here we saw that they wanted to go back and they saw the unearthly animal. they was coming towards that was coming towards them and dashed them. They then we saw that all were scared, speechless, thoughtless. They were thinking what exactly to do. We have these three characters now: Commander, Ned Land, Professor Aronnax, and the Professor Aronnax is the one who is narrating the whole story. Near 2 o'clock in the morning, a core of light reappeared 5 miles away from Abraham Lincoln. So around 2 o'clock in the morning, the core of light means the light of the animal again reappeared 5 miles away from our ship, that is Abraham Lincoln. We stayed on alert till until daylight, getting ready for action. Whaling gear was set up along the railing. A chief officer loaded the blunderbusses, which can launch harpoon as far as mile, and long duck guns with exploding bullet that can be wound and kill even the most powerful animal. Ned Land was content to sharpen his harpoon and dreadful weapon in his hand. So all these people, all the chief officer, commander has given them the information. So all these people were ready with their guns, blunderbusses, and they were getting ready to shoot that particular whale. Whatever bullets and explosion they were having was so powerful that that would kill even the most powerful animal. Blunderbusses means shotguns, harpoon means weapon. Ned Land was knowing all about it, and he was sharpening his missile, a dreadful weapon, in his hand. At 6 o'clock day began to break, and with the dawn early light, animals' electric glow disappeared. So now what happened is that now all these people of the ship, that is the Abraham Lincoln, all were ready to kill this particular animal, that is the whale. They all were getting ready with the equipments to kill this whale. So now Ned Land is also very much ready to use this sharpened weapon and was also ready to burst it. So around 6 o'clock, what happened is that the day break with the dawn's early light, and the animal's electric glow disappeared. So that particular whale light got disappeared. Now what happened when the sun rises? The automatically light of the whale suddenly got disappeared. It just went, there was no electric glow at all. At 7 o'clock, a very dense morning mist spread around us. Our best spy glasses were unable to pierce it. The outcome: disappointment and anger. Around 7 o'clock, a very dense morning mist spread around us. Mist means fog. So at 7 o'clock, everywhere around the ship was fog. So it was very difficult for the people on the ship to see exactly where the whale is, and they were not knowing, because those people who were on the ship mostly means during winter season, most of the time the surrounding area around them is like mist. It is very much foggy, and therefore they were given on a particular ship, that is the frigate, those people who are not able to see where is the whale. They were having the best spy glasses, means a small telescope which you can see in the picture, used by the sailor in the past, but still they were unable to see where exactly the whale is. The result or the outcome was disappointment and anger. They were ready with all the equipments. Because of the fog, they were unable to see the whale is where it was hiding. At 8 o'clock, a mist rolled away, and the horizon grew wider and clearer. Suddenly, Ned Land's voice could be heard. "There's the thing in the question." Astern to port, the harpooner shouted. Every eye looked towards the point indicated. So in the previous passage we saw that at 6 o'clock the light of that particular animal disappeared. At 7 o'clock entire place of the sea was filled with fog. And now at 8 o'clock a mist rolled away and the people on the ship could see clearly. So now they suddenly heard a Ned Land saying something, and everyone went out. The harpooner shouted. So Ned Land was showing us the specific point where he saw that animal is over there, and therefore he shouted. Everyone paid attention to that point. There, a mile and a half from the frigate, a long blackish body emerged a meter above the wave, quivering violently. Its tail was creating a considerable current. So they could see the blackish body emerge over there, a mile away from the frigate. Quivering means shivering. So as the animal was moving its tail, it was producing some kind of considerable current that was coming out from the animal, and the people on the ship could feel it. The crew were waiting impatiently for orders from their leader. Later, after carefully observing the animal, ordered the engineer to sail full steam towards the animal. So the entire crew, all the people on the ship, they thought that they were they will wait for they were very impatient. They wanted to kill that animal, and they were only waiting for the orders, even though they were ready with their equipment, but still waiting for the final orders has to be given by the commander, and therefore they were just waiting for a last permission to just kill that animal. So finally they did not get order to shoot, but they got order to come with full speed towards the animal. But still yet they were confused that particular animal is a whale or some other animal. 3 cheers greeted this order. The hour of battle had sounded. A few moments later, the Abraham Lincoln headed straight for the animal. Unconcerned, the latter let us come near. It got up a little speed and kept distance. So now what happened? They all were ready for the battle. They all cheered each other, and few moments later, the frigate, means the Abraham Lincoln, headed the straight towards the animal. And they were concerned about whatever will happen. They just wanted to kill the animal. It got up a little speed and kept distance. It was having a quite distance between them. They chase dragged on for about 3/4 of an hour without the frigate getting any closer to the sea animal. At this rate, it was obvious that we would never catch up with it. 1/4 means 15 minutes, so 3/4 means 45 minutes. They were at the distance of 45 minutes between the animal and the ship. The Abraham Lincoln gathered the speed, but so did the animal. This went on for the next hour. Abraham Lincoln was now speeding so much that it must tremble down to their blocks. The ship was gathering speed, but so that the particular animal was also, as soon as they were speeding up the ship, that particular animal was also speeding up. So therefore they thought that they will never catch this whale. Our frigate Abraham Lincoln was so much in speed that whatever things were there on the ship was trembling, means the falling down on the blocks. This passage tells us that whenever a frigate was coming near another animal, it was moving. Whatever action we were taking, the same way the another animal was doing. And this went on for about 2 hours. And the people on the ship thought that we will never get that animal. The ship was speeding so much that everything started trembling down. What a chase! No, I can't describe the excitement that shook my very being. Ned Land stayed on this post, harpoon in hand. Several times the animal let us approach. Then just a harpooner was about to strike, the cetacean would steal off swiftly. Now all were very angry and disappointed, and they were very much confused. But as soon as they were keeping the target, they were ready to shoot. That particular animal or whale used to disappear. That time the concentration was lost. Commander Farragut then decided to use more direct method. Bah, he said. So the animal is faster than the Abraham Lincoln. All right, mate. Man the gun in the bow. Now commander decided to use direct method. He said that animal is faster than the ship. Okay. Then he said, all right, mate. Assistant, man the gun in the bow. That means load your gun and get ready with the position. A forecaster cannon was immediately loaded and leveled. The cannoneer fired a shot, but his shell passed some feet above the cetacean, which stayed half a mile off. So they were ready, and the commander gave the permission to shoot. As soon as they were fired a shot, the shell passed, and they could see that particular animal, and just missed a shot, means that just took off. Over to somebody is with a better aim, the commander shouted, and $5,000 to a man who can pierce that infernal beast. So the commander had given the permission to shoot that and they gave even a fire shot, but still they missed. They could not kill that whale. So then commander shouted, I'll give you $500 to a person who have a perfect aim and will kill that animal. Now we will see who is ready to do that. Calm of eye, cool of feature, an old grey-beard gunner, I can see him to this day, approached the cannon, but in the position and took aim for a good while. There was mighty explosion mingled with cheers from the crew. So finally we have an old man, actually not old, he is having old grey beard and cool features and very calm eyes, and he said, I am ready to take this shot. So cannon was ready to take this opportunity. There were mighty explosion mingled with cheers from the crew. The shell reached the target. It hit the animal but bounced off its rounded surface and vanished into the sea 2 miles out. So that particular person gave a good shot, and the people on the crew, they clapped, they cheered, but it hit the animal and bounced back and rounded the surface, just vanished into the sea 2 miles out. Oh drat, said the old gunner in his anger, that monster must be covered with 6-inch armor plate. That particular gunner, he was so angry that he gave a good shot, but as soon as he gave a shot, that bullet, it just bounced back, and therefore that particular person said the monster must be covered with 6-inch armor plate. Armor plate means protective metal covering. The hunt was on again, and hour after hour went by without that animal showing a least sign of weariness. However, it must be said that we too struggle on tirelessly. So even the hunt was on now, and hour went. They were chasing the animal, and the animal was playing with them. Whenever a frigate was in speed, that animal was also in speed. So now they came to know that animal is having the protection of metal covered. So whatever shoot they will do, it won't harm that particular animal. So now the people on the crew was also tired and helpless. At 10:50 in the evening, the electric light reappeared 3 miles away from the frigate, just as clear and intense as the night before. So when it was morning, that time the light was disappeared, but now 10:50 in the evening, so you all will get to know that particular animal was only shining in the night, and he was able to give light in the night. The monster seemed motionless. Was it asleep, perhaps weary from its workday, just riding with the wave? This was our chance, and Commander Farragut decided to take full advantage of it. He gave orders. So now we see that cruise ship found it that the monster is motionless. Monster must be sleeping because of so much of work that they did today. So the commander thought that this is the chance to kill the monster. So finally commander decided to take full advantage of it, and he gave his order. The frigate approached without making a sound, stopped 2 cable lengths from the animal. A profound silence reigned over the deck. We were not 100 feet from the blazing crow of light, whose glow grew stronger and dazzled the eyes. So we see 2 cable length means 220 meters depending on the standard unit. So cable length is basically the distance of the ship from that particular object. We see that frigate was approaching to the monster. They thought the frigate won't make a sound in complete silence. We were not 100 feet from the blazing crow of light, whose glow grew stronger and dazzled with eyes. That means they could see the monster clearly with the eyes. They were surprised to see because they were approaching so much close to the monster. So commander and the people on the ship thought they were sure that they are going to kill it. So close to that animal. Now let us see whether they can kill the animal. Just then, leaning over the forecastle railing, I saw Ned Land below me, brandishing his dreadful harpoon. Barely 20 feet separated him from the motionless animal. All at once, his arm shot forward and the harpoon was launched. I heard the weapon making a ringing sound as if it had hit some hard substance. The electric light suddenly went out, and 2 enormous waterspouts crashed onto the deck of the frigate, racing like a torrent from one end of the ship to the other, toppling crewmen, breaking spare masts a yardum from the lashing. A hideous collision occurred and thrown over the rail with no time to catch hold of it. I was hurled into the sea. What a sorrowful ending. What happened is that in the end we see that Ned Land was ready with dreadful harpoon, and all the people were ready with all the equipment, and at once his arm shooted forward and the harpoon was launched. As soon as the harpoon was launched, he heard the weapon making a ringing sound, and as if it hit something hard substance, and the electric light was there on unearthly animal. It just went out, and all the water came into our frigate, and in the end we see big collision happen. The ship just broke into 2 pieces because that was spread. As soon as the harpoon was launched on unearthly animal, it bounced back and all the water came in the ship, and there was no time to catch each other, and everyone was fell into the sea. So this is what happened in the story. Their mission was to kill sea monster.